Tricia. If you didn't know, well, hi. I did a baking video the other day and I enjoyed it and I thought, hey, I'm gonna do another one for you. I mean, I knew I was going to do another one for you, but this is it. Prepare to be excited. I hope that the lighting's okay. You know what's gonna help? That'll help. So yeah, today I'm going to be making almost vegan apple cake. So the recipe for this is vegan, and this is it. It'll be in the description below without my spelling errors because I was not really paying attention when I was writing. Yeah. So the reason that it is almost vegan is because I'm adding a special ingredient. I didn't do any Googling on it or whatever, but I'm like 100% certain it's not vegan, which is skor bits. I'm gonna add some skor bits to it, give it a little crunch, and I have a couple things that are not in the actual recipe that I add, considering the recipe is technically a vanilla cake, but I have taken upon myself to change it up. The things that you'll be needing today are flour, sugar, baking soda, not sponsored, salt, some vinegar, Mexican vanilla or regular vanilla, but Mexican is so much better, some vegetable and or canola oil, and some cold apple juice, which I'm going to put back into the fridge because I don't want it sitting out because it's supposed to be cold. So I started making this recipe for one of my friends who can't have dairy, and it took off as one of my class's favorite desserts. So that's fun. You're going to need 1 3/4 cups flour. Ooh, flour. Now I don't actually add as much sugar considering I'm using apple juice and not water, which is what the regular recipe says. So I use just under a cup of sugar. The next thing you're gonna add is your baking soda. And you just add 1 teaspoon of that, along with your ½ teaspoon of salt. I know that this is like a very interesting way of filming, but I just feel like it's the better way in the long run. So yeah, now we're gonna add our teaspoon of vinegar. Now this is my favorite part because there is a reaction because you're doing baking soda and vinegar. Got your vinegar. And go in your baking soda. Ooh! Reaction. Science. Fun. Now, you're gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Again, like I said with the cookie cake recipe, which if you haven't watched, it will be linked down below. I am very loosey-goosey with my amount of vanilla. I like vanilla, so I'll let a little bit extra in because it's just better, but not too much extra considering it's baking and baking is an art form. Next, and it's a science. Next you're gonna add 1/3 cup of your oil. I was a little bit concerned that I wouldn't have enough, but I do. So your oil acts as like your eggs, so you don't want to skip on this part. Your oil and your baking soda vinegar combo kind of acts as like the things that you're missing when you would do a normal bake. Now you're gonna do 1 cup of your cold apple juice. You're gonna add that. This apple juice is actually homemade. My mom made it from apples that grew on our trees outside. So that's awesome. It's not my favorite apple juice to drink, sorry Mom, but it is my favorite apple juice for baking. So you're gonna add your apple juice. And then here is where I like to add a wee bit of cinnamon because cinnamon's real good and not too much, just a little bit. Cinnamon apple, Am I right? And now, I'm just gonna blend that all together. While that's blending, you can do what I always forget to do. You can preheat your oven to 350. And you can grease your cake pan. You can use this or the squares pan, any kind of pan. I like this one for it because it's a little bit more cakey. So it's almost done. I'm just going to take a spatula and scrape it around the edges. It's very important to scrape along the edges because you want to make sure that you're not having chunks of flour. You want to make sure that it's blending nicely. And you also really don't want to overmix. So you want to make sure that you're not doing too much mix in there. So there we go. Tap that off. Do a quick extra blend. Now I'm going to add the final touch, which you do not have to add. If you don't add it, this is a completely vegan recipe. If you do, I'm not sure about the skor bits, but you can add things. I've done this with lemonade instead of apple juice. I love this recipe for its diversity. Now that your cake batter is done, you can do the honorable thing since there's no eggs in it, and you can taste it. So I am expecting a friend over, so I'm not going to taste it until she's here. Clearly I haven't baked it yet, but I'm not going to taste it until she's here because I feel like that's going to be fun. We can taste it together. I'll show you that. While we wait for it to preheat, I'm just going to put away some stuff. I have some dishes that are dry now. I have some stuff to put away, so I'll just put that away, and yeah, that's what I do when I'm waiting for things. I clean up. Like I said, I am having a friend over tonight, so it'll be nice to have a tidy house, because I like that. Alright, so it's beeped, and we are going to put it in the oven. Do this with one hand. Wish me luck. And just plop that into the oven. You're going to want to bake it for about 20 to 25 to 30 minutes. So 20 to 30 minutes. But I'm going to put it for 20 minutes and see how it is. I'll let you know after the time has elapsed. And I'll continue cleaning. While I'm baking that, I'm going to be cleaning in a second here. But I thought I'd light a candle because I am having friends over, like I said. Well, a friend. So I thought I'll light a candle and finish tidying up so that it smells really fresh in here when she arrives. This is fresh balsam, I believe it is pronounced, from Bath & Body Works. Oops. So it gives like a very piney kind of scent, and I feel like that's good for the Christmassy atmosphere I have in here. I also need to change the batteries in my lights. Gotta remember to do that. So I have some dry stuff here, and I think I'm going to make or boil water for some tea. Maybe I'll pull out a teapot and make a pot of tea. It's so pretty. It's like toasting on the outside. So pretty. Up to 30 minutes, so it could be another 5 minutes after this, but we'll just let it run down the clock and we'll see what happens. So while we're waiting for that to finish up, let's do our topping. So the topping is a simple glaze, and all you're gonna need is a little measuring cup, some of your apple juice, and some powdered sugar. Take your powdered sugar and pour a bunch into your measuring cup. Oh boy, that's a lot. I might have put too much, but that's okay. It'll just be extra glazy. And then take a little bit of apple juice and pour it in as well. You're gonna take a little whisk. A fork will do as well. And you're gonna slowly combine those together. I'm gonna need more apple juice, but I wanna like combine a little bit, because I hate to add too much and then have to add more powdered sugar. And that's just a struggle that no one wants. Then you're gonna take a little bit more ground cinnamon. Just a little bit. And mix it all up together there. Doing this one-handed is a struggle. Glaze it real good. Glaze that glaze just like you should. All right, so it beeped again, so we're gonna test it again with another toothpick. It looks a lot more done now. You can usually tell by like the look of a cake how it's doing. So it's looking a lot better now. But it still needs a bit more time. So we'll put it to the last 5 minutes and it should be done by then. So an extra 5 minutes here on the timer. And I'll see you when that's done. It beeped. Let's check it. Hopefully this is the last time I'll check it. It still needs baking! Alright, forgot about this. I was looking at some mail that I got. Forgot about it. Oops. So, it's gonna be done now. It hasn't been that long, don't worry. Only been like a minute. Glaze it. I'll take a toothpick and stab some holes in the cake. It doesn't matter if they're pretty, you won't notice it. Sorry if you have a fear of holes. And then pour on your glaze. Make sure that your glaze is nicely around your cake. I do multiple layers of glaze. So I put the initial one on, which fills the little holes and soaks right into the cake. And you're gonna put on your second layer of glaze, and you're gonna put it on top, and you can see the difference because you've put that initial glaze on, which filled all the holes, so this one's just kind of sitting on top. And I like to move the glaze so that it goes more into the middle because it likes to stay around the edges, which is totally fine. But then your last layer, or not. I'm actually gonna pull 4 layers out of this. So, put on that layer. And you can see with every layer, it gets more and more, like you can tell the glaze. It's better and better every time. So this is after 3 glazes. Kind of pull it into the middle because it all condenses at the ends. I'm doing this with not my dominant hand. Oops. Your final layer of glaze. Because you don't want any of the glaze to be left behind. And this is like the top layer, and this is the one that will harden onto the cake, and you'll see more. And it's almost like a soaked cake. Like, you know those cakes that people soak in like rum? It's like that, but with apple. And then while that glaze is still nice and wet, I'm gonna grab my skor bits again. And I'm going to sprinkle bits of skor just around the cake for decoration. I'll show you a nice close-up when I'm done. So here it is, all delicious with the little bits of skor on top and the glaze, which is not just on here, it'll seep down into the bottom and it'll be all in the cake, and it's so good and moist. And I'm sorry for using the word moist, but it's so good. I have a friend.
Hi, it's me. My name is Tasha. I'm small. I'm a small child.
Just a small bean. I'm gonna cut the cake.
I was gonna say, do just like
just eat it. Eat it all.
down.
No, I'm gonna cut the cake. And then we just filmed some weird videos.
I have this like energy that I didn't have all day. So.
It's me. I'm just energetic.
We're energetic.
So anyway, we
worked out eating cake and steak. This is Tricia. Say hi, Tricia.
Hi. If you don't know me, what are you doing on my channel? Alright. You just watched the whole video. Like, what the heck? Okay. You get to eat cake now. Oh, I didn't get the spin.
Do you want me to do the spin again?
Yeah.
This is a pirouette.
What a star. Alright. Eat the cake. Tell me what you think.
The whole cake?
Well, you can just have a bite if you don't want the whole cake. You're not allergic to apples, are you?
No, dude, this is so good.
Okay, good.
This is really good.
It is very moist because it has like 4 layers of glaze on top.
I love that you put skor and apples together. Like, it's a really good combination.
Thanks. I thought it might be.
Digging it.
Delicious. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below anything else you want me to do. And if you made the cake, let me know because boy, I want to know. Just tag me on Instagram or Twitter. My handles are down there. I know that song.
It's David Archuleta from Hannah Montana.
Oh my gosh, yes! Okay.
And we're gonna duet it.
You can
I've decided.
Okay. You can hit my subscribe button over her face. I'll tag her down below, but I don't want to put a button for her. Not today. And there'll be another video over my face. Alright, bye!